Hello. Thanks for dropping in. It's as usual Sunday night's beer night. So tonight, don't know if I had this one before. It's from the Rocks Brewery. It's called the Red Double IPA, and it was a limited run beer, 10-year celebration beer. So it's a double IPA, so I've had one before, or if not, one similar. Here we go. Okay. Looks good. Looks good. Pouring well. And this is my bad pourmanship, isn't it? But look, it's nice, and it's got a great window. Look at that. Anyway, yeah. Oh, so it's Sunday. I usually work Sundays, and it means like tomorrow I'll get a surf in tomorrow. So how's the vaping? I've been listening to a few people about getting rid of bad habits and dealing with your addictions and things like that. Probably one of the best things you can do, say, to help dealing with your addictions, is having a mentor, someone who's been there before and who knows what you're going through, who can guide you. Maybe a self-help group. Anyway, tonight got the old trusty Invader 3. It's still a favourite, you know, for a mod box. I really enjoy it, and I'm nearly finished the Southern Cross bun, which is the hot cross bun flavour. I've been using it all week. It's too good. Sticky with the bread pastry sort of aftertaste. It's really good, but it's nearly finished, so I'll try and pass the store later on in the week, get some more. And the beard's returning. I felt a bit sad without it. State of Origin coming up soon in Australian Rugby League, and every year get really excited about the State of Origin, and then coming from New South Wales, and then they announce the teams, and then the contests start, and you're really excited, and it's every year I'm disappointed, except for maybe last year. I think we won the season last year, but for so many years New South Wales doesn't have a team. And so yesterday they announced the New South Wales team. No fanfare or anything like that. They just post up like an email, and while I'm listening to Grandstand, they read out the New South Wales team. And I think today they posted the Queensland team. No fanfare. I mean, why wouldn't they just get like the two coaches together in a media scrum and make an event out of it? Anyway, I mean, every year they pick the sides, and no one's happy with the sides. But you know, they never are. You've got no control over that. They can only pick the people they want. Some of the people they want aren't eligible to play because they've been under suspension or whatever like that. So yeah, it's going to be in a few weeks' time. The State of Origin will come on. We'll be all really excited. A really big night, and probably extremely disappointed with the. See, the other issues is that leading up, once the players are picked for the state of origin, leading up to the state, they wrap themselves in cotton wool, and their performance in their regular competition games suffers. And then again in the state of origin, they get injured and they're out for the rest of the season, and then the whole table competition points score table flops because all the major successful teams have their major players out to play in the state of origin, so that it turns the whole table. So as much as I like watching so the old days of state of origin, when it was rough and ready and men were men, they're not allowed to get, they want these guys to play football without getting excited. Yeah, we'll still watch it though, eh? In New Zealand, they've announced their gun buyback scheme, and we've been through the gun buyback scheme in Australia. It doesn't really work. It costs the taxpayer millions of dollars to buy back. In New Zealand, not only they're buying back the guns, they're buying back all the accessories for these guns as well. And what happened in Australia was that people would rock up with their old worn out piece of crap, get market valued money for it, and then straight down the gun shop to buy a new gun. New Zealand's, Australia doesn't have a gun culture. They always quote how successful our gun buyback scheme was, but we don't have that sort of gun culture in Australia. And of course they change the parameters of their statistics so that if I went out and murdered 10 people with a knife, it probably wouldn't count because it's not a gun. It wouldn't count as a mass murder, and the media wouldn't be interested in it because there was no guns involved. The last big shooting incident we had, which caused for the gun restrictions to be placed in Australia. And everyone knows the name of that because the media, 25, 30 years later, are still, and politicians are still standing and using the Port Arthur massacre for their own political and monetary gains, which is pretty horrible when you think about it. So they always say that because of our gun restrictions, we've never had another mass killing. Well, not with guns. We've had it with matches and knives and what have we had? We had a nurse that burnt down a nursing home. No one knows his name. We had a backpacker that burnt down a backpackers hostel. No one knows his name. We had a woman who murdered 6 or 7 children in her own family. No one knows her name. But we all know the name of the man who was the shooter in the Tasmanian massacre. That's what the media and the politicians stand on. And that's the saddest bit. And this is what's happening in New Zealand now. Like, gun buybacks don't work. You don't get all the guns back. You don't stop people from having illegal... You then create an illegal black market for the same weapons. We have it here. Because I've got no idea actually how many weapons are out there in the first place. And... but unless they have a gun amnesty, you can't just rock down the police station with a firearm and say, "I'll hand this over," because they'll say, "Well, hang on, this isn't registered and you're not licensed. You're in trouble, pal." We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. New Zealand's got a bit of a gang problem as well, and I can't see those guys handing over their firearms. So unless they do the same thing as everyone else, is just hand over the rubbish and keep the good stuff for themselves. That's this week's Grand Prix report. I'm going to finish my beer, and I appreciate anyone who watches this. I appreciate anyone who subscribes. Thank you very much. And if you want to subscribe, please do so. Just hit that subscribe button and the bell button if you want to, because my goal is to post one vid a week for the year, which would be about 50 videos. And I'm maybe quite good at doing it by the end of the year. Who knows? Anyway, I'll talk to you later. See ya.